I'm joined by Heidi Myers, who is the marketing manager for Meltwater Europe, Africa, and the Middle East. And she's joined with us today to talk about the workshop that's taking place at Delories tomorrow, which is Wednesday. Welcome.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
So I think first let's just talk about the fact that there's a workshop happening, part of the Luries Creative Week in Cape Town. There's a special workshop happening in Cape Town at the Cullinan Hotel to basically engage with members of the public on the types of tools and the types of insights that Meltwater has had. Do you want to just talk a little bit about what the conference is going to be about?
Sure. So basically, we're hosting a workshop. It's free for all to attend, and it will be sharing tips and tricks and insights in social listening for business or for smarter business. So we hope that people that come along will be able to really take away actionable to-dos that will really help their business strategy in social media.
And what is it exactly that Meltwater does that makes it so useful as a tool for businesses?
Well, Meltwater basically helps businesses cut through the noise. So we know that there are billions of online sources being uploaded every minute, so much data on the internet. And people can make informed decisions if they have the right data for their business. But it's impossible to keep track of all of that information and analyze it effectively because, let's face it, none of us are superhuman. And so basically what Meltwater does is we help businesses analyze and monitor all of this online news and social media globally so that they can make executive decisions based on the insights we provide. So we help businesses find the needle in the haystack.
And I mean, I think what's happening in the environment of businesses is that there's a lot of push on social media, and there's a lot of push of we need to get our brand out there on social media, on Facebook, on Twitter. But a lot of the time, they're not really trying to actually understand what the audiences are saying. So how can companies better use a tool to actually listen in on what the people are saying, and in what ways, in what kind of environments can it be used? Sometimes, for example, it can be used in a positive way, and sometimes it can be used when something has gone wrong.
Well, I suppose historically marketeers would have used market research surveys to learn about their competitors or to learn about their potential customers or their customers, and that would involve having a group of people in a room and asking them lots of questions and trying to find out what they like and what they don't like. Now with the age of social media, what we can see is using social listening to learn what people are talking about. So if we take an example of a business, let's take a hat company as an example. Maybe there's an owner of a business sells green hats, and they've noticed a massive spike. In fact, this particular green hat has sold out. Now, traditionally, it might be that they thought that their target audience was, an age group of 40 to 50 for males, for example. But by listening on social media, what they've learned is that it's not, in fact, the colour of the hat that mattered at all. It was the shape of the hat that people were interested in. And in fact, it was fathers buying it for their sons for a specific gift. That was a big trend that was happening, and that the target audience specifically is younger males between 18 to 20. This is the sorts of insights that you can learn from social listening that can actually impact what you purchase for your business and affect your bottom line. That helps you make these informed decisions.
And often people who do use similar tools like this often think that it's only meant for PR or meant for the marketing side of a business. Is it also not true that you can use these tools across the organization in different types of departments that don't normally think they can use these types of tools?
Yeah, so I think traditionally we've seen marketeers or PR people tracking their news and their brand online or in paper clippings. But it's certainly true that now we're seeing a rise of different types of people because everybody needs information in business. And so what we've noticed is, maybe from a creative perspective, you might try out a new headline on Twitter to see which one resonates with the audience, which one gets the most clicks compared to others. You might see that an HR director is learning about recruitment strategy, or even listening to potential employees that they're wanting to find out more about, or ex-employees. What are they talking about? What were their issues with the organisation? Heads of sales, for example, could be tracking business leads. So we had an example of a pest control company that was looking for, every time on social media people were complaining about pests, they used that as a business opportunity to then contact them directly. But of course, you still see marketeers tracking for brand and competitors and learning more about their audiences as well.
What is the culture at Meltwater? It's quite an interesting business. The people who work there, who are engaging with companies, they seem to have a lot of different experiences to share.
Okay. Yeah, so we're a really, I'd say, fun, loving organisation. We are global, so there are about 900 people now working for Meltwater across 50 offices. We have 20,000 clients, so people that really do see value in social listening and learning more about their social media and online news PR solutions. But as a culture, as a company, we invest in potentially in young people or potentially in people. So really, we like to enjoy working in this industry and enjoy speaking to people. So you find that we're quite a fun bunch in the office. We have ping pong tables, and we like to go out socially and that sort of thing. So very fun, I'd say, overall.
You're sitting in London currently.
I am sitting in London, and it is a little bit grey outside, but that won't get us down.
Honestly,
but I do come from San Francisco. Sorry?
It's actually pretty grey in Cape Town too.
Okay, well that makes me feel a little bit better.
But San Francisco is probably sunny.
I'd say San Francisco is sunny enough, although it's prone to a bit of fog. I was there last week, and we've got a fantastic HQ out there because we're Norwegian originally. So we started in 2001, but we actually have now got an HQ out in San Francisco. So I get to go out there from time to time and really see the magic happen with the product development side of things.
So I mean, you must travel to places like the Middle East quite a lot. What kind of what's the online world scene like there?
Yeah, well, so my region, the region I cover, is Central Europe, Middle East and Africa. So from a marketing and communications perspective. But I would say that we've got some huge market opportunities in the Arabic-speaking world, and of course in Africa as well. We can see a real interest in social media for business, and people are starting to get very excited about the power of these tools and how they can actually make a real impact on decision making. Of course, we've seen that for a while, maybe in the UK or in Europe and in the US. But I'm very excited to see where this is going in Africa and the Middle East as well.
And in terms of like business executives, they can use these insights a lot into putting reports together. Am I correct?
Yeah. So we can basically analyze anything online, and so it might be that we can track very specific keywords to find out how a brand is doing in the market in the UK. But we can also track how many mentions did it have globally. How is it positive and negative? What's the general sentiment around it? What are the key trends that are being spoken about in relation to this keyword? Is there anything surprising that we should be aware of? Can we look at the competitive nature of the landscape? How are competitors deeming products and that sort of thing? And we can also look at key channels that certain themes are being mentioned on, and we can dissect it and really cut it and slice it any which way to really help the audience as best possible.
So the Luries Creative Week, which is started this week in Cape Town, it brings together between 45,000 people in the creative brand communication industry. So this type of workshop that's taking place really is well geared towards these types of people, from the executives to the creative directors. And yesterday they released the finalists for the internet and the interactive and the email side of the awards that take place in the weekend, and it was interesting to have a look at all the different types of projects that were coming out of them. And one of the things that one of your colleagues will be workshopping is basically having a look at creating a viral marketing campaign. So if you were at the workshop, what type of tips would you be giving these types of creative directors in terms of viral marketing?
Well, I suppose what I would say is that gone are the days of monologue marketing, as we call it. So historically, we would put together a really cool brand messaging and maybe plaster it everywhere. And you might be walking down the street and see all of these cool brand messages from companies. But really, you wouldn't know how successful it was until you saw the profit and loss in the shops or whatever it be. And really, that's just advertising. So traditional marketing was really advertising, I suppose. Now, with social media, what we've seen is the rise of dialogue marketing. So a little bit like I was talking about earlier, this is an opportunity to have a direct conversation with your potential customer or target audience, whereby you can say, how do you feel about this product, or what do you think, and oh, how can I make it better, or would you like to learn more about this thing? And in terms of the hat example I gave earlier, would you like to buy it in blue? Would purple be a good option? And so we've seen a real change in our marketing strategy because of the social media insights that you can gather, and to listen a lot to the audience. So it's really changing business strategy and marketing strategy in that sense.
Well, thank you very much for your time and your insights into this, and I'm sure that the Lurie delegates will really take a lot out of this workshop.
Thank you very much, Matthew. I hope so too. I hope to see anyone who wants to come.
Great. Keep well.
Okay.
Cheers.